lot of nuts!
Presidential assassination attempts are such big stories that they basically instantly become a part of world history while simultaneously also becoming a part of meme history on the internet. When Abraham Lincoln was shot in the back of the head in the Ford Theater, did everybody learn the name John Wilkes Booth in school? Yes. Did we also put him on the penny, facing the opposite direction of every other coin for some reason, almost mocking him in death? Also yes. When John F. Kennedy was assassinated, the mystery shrouding the details of who shot him lasted for so many decades, we've reached the point where people are wondering, what if he wasn't shot and his head just kind of did that for some reason? Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe spent so much time being memed into this person who was trying to raise the birth rates in Japan that it became the ultimate irony that Japan's birth rate would decline by 1 when he died from having his back blown out. I couldn't write a story more ironic than that unless I scrolled Twitter for 5 more minutes to find a different joke to steal. So naturally, with the news going around of former President Trump being shot at a rally just last Saturday, everybody has one question on their mind. Will this event have spicy enough memes to be etched into the history books of the internet, or is it just gonna be a case of in one ear and out the backside of that same ear? Man, this Sumito guy really just caught me up on all the memes surrounding presidential assassinations over the last 50 years in like 50 seconds. That's impressive. Maybe I'll buy some gamer subs using his link in the description for 10% off, I don't know. I first heard this news live as it was happening because at the time I was live streaming Kingdom Hearts on my Twitch channel. Somebody in my chat let me know that apparently former President Trump was doing a rally and was shot during which, and after hearing that news, I'm gonna be honest, I could not follow the story in Kingdom Hearts whatsoever. Let's quickly go over all the major bullet points to catch you up to speed and highlight the fact that I did not make that pun on purpose. Trump was doing a rally in Pennsylvania. According to several videos from the events that have been posted on the internet for everybody to see, you hear a bunch of gunshots go off before he grabs the side of his head and is then dragged to the floor by Secret Service. After the gunshots subside, Trump starts to arise from this pile of bodyguards that are surrounding him, throws his fist into the air, which results in one of the hardest photos of a former president ever, the second place of which I think is probably also Trump from his mugshot. The dude's really got a run going. That's basically everything you need to know about the situation as it broke out live, but obviously the memes and the details that come out afterwards are the juicy bits that we're going to talk about now. The first meme, and I don't know if I'm going to do these in chronological order or just in order of how I've saved them on my Twitter, but it's the photo op. An incredible photo op. Say what you want to about the situation, and trust me, we will say quite a bit as this video goes on. But the video to arise from it is insane. I mean, you've seen photos, artistic recreations of John F. Kennedy being assassinated in the car and Abraham Lincoln and all of these others. Very few situations is there a presidential assassination attempt where somebody actually gets hit by the bullet and then comes out of the other side, blood on his face, fist in the air, American flag behind him? Like, there is a reason that multiple people, immediately upon hearing this news, assumed that this entire situation must have been staged, because that photo that came out of the other end of it felt a little bit too hard. As I said in the introduction, when something like this happens, it's such major news that you can basically guarantee that generations of people are going to learn about this in schools, because the assassination of a president, the attempted assassination of a former president rather, is massive. This isn't something that happens all the time. But even knowing that it's that big of a piece of news, it still did not, I mean, like the photos that came out almost immediately after the video started to be released was like, you couldn't script this better. Look at these images. Obviously, the pose itself has been memed to death. It's iconic at this point, despite the fact that it just happened. A version of this photo is probably what I'm going to end up using for the thumbnail. It's actually kind of nuts. Obviously, this image of Trump had sort of first mover advantage with it being the first piece of media that everybody had access to after hearing about the news. But once people started to learn more about what was going on, other memes started to arise. The first piece of which is everybody realizing that this was real. This was an actual attempt at assassinating a former president and current president elect somebody running for president very quickly, because just earlier this month, people were posting about the 2-year anniversary of the assassination of Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. He was already fresh on everybody's head, leading to the comparison that in America, where we have almost no gun laws restricting them, resulted in somebody with a real firearm simply grazing a former president, versus over in Japan, where everybody's so much more efficient that the prime minister was assassinated by a dude who made a shotgun out of things that look like he bought them at Home Depot. I mean, we all know Japan's good at making bullet trains, but who knew they were good at making guns that shoot pellets? Fuck, I didn't put that together very well. The next meme to come from the situation arises from the natural question that everybody had right after this occurred, which is, who done it? What happened? Are we actually going to find out who took this shot at a former president? Or is it going to be another 50 years of speculation before realizing that it was probably the CIA? Much to everybody's advantage, a name was released. Thomas Matthew Crooks. No other information, despite the fact that there was somehow a picture of the individual who apparently took the shot. A matching picture was made by a random Twitter user who claimed to be the guy, which doesn't make any sense because he seemed to have been neutralized right after taking the shot. Turns out this guy's just a troll.
My name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. I hate Republicans, I hate Trump, and guess what? You got the wrong guy.
This dude posted this video to Twitter and it started making the rounds with everybody speculating how he got away with it. It wasn't like everybody knew that the person who shot or took the shot at former President Trump had immediately been neutralized by the counter snipers on the rooftops right after taking the shot. But because of that, everybody was like, who did it? Who was it? It must have been this kid, because everybody knows after you do something like this, you post on Twitter with your full name, let them know. It was fake. Everybody should have known it was fake. I can't believe this even lasted for 5 minutes of anybody speculating that this dude was real. Also, I don't know why this dude would decide to put this out there. His Twitter's currently private, but bro, this is a dangerous thing to joke about. After information about the shooter was released, people started going crazy. Evidently, there was this one picture of this individual that some eagle-eyed rally goers were able to take, having spotted him before Secret Service did, which we will get to later, and everybody started making wojaks out of the guy, which is the one piece of solace you can have. If you're going to put yourself in a situation where you're going to get immediately deleted by somebody who actually knows how to use a scoped rifle to hit a target at over 1,500 yards, at the very least, they're going to wojak you on the internet, and wojak them on the internet they have. This dude has been dubbed the most hated man in America by both sides of the political spectrum, which I think is hilarious. Obviously, Trump supporters are upset at this dude for trying to assassinate their candidate, but Trump detractors are also upset that he did this because now it makes everybody look bad. Not just on the global scale of things, because, oh, the American election had one of their candidates shot at. Oh, America, get your gun controls together. But also, if you're on the Democratic side, it's like, bruh, now you're just giving this much more power to Trump for seemingly being bulletproof. Despite the fact that this dude decided to give up his life to try and make some sort of political statement with his actions, he is instead evidently going to be remembered as the dude who fired 8 shots and missed basically every single one of them. They're clowning him on the internet as it speaks. People are interviewing him from back in high school. He has old classmates stating that he was so bad that they dropped him from the school rifle team, that he was in the rightmost lane and missed the target by so much that he hit the leftmost wall. This dude's getting clowned after death.
Take a look at what happened. I was perfectly shooting him with 100% accuracy and he didn't die.
I missed. Little miss. I can miss again.
The natural follow-up question that I'm sure all of you and everybody on the internet had after this was, discovering who the shooter was, what was the Secret Service doing? There is a tremendous amount of people that are at that rally who practice every single day to prevent something like this happening. How did something like this happen? There are videos analyzing the counter snipers on the rooftops behind Trump, seemingly having spotted the shooter but not taking any shots until he shot first, and then instantly neutralizing him. So it's like, you definitely saw him, right? Why did nobody do anything? All the Secret Service around Trump dragging him to the floor makes sense. They were in a scurry to try to protect their candidate, but then afterwards allowing him to throw his fist in the air. Dope as the photo opportunity was, you probably should have rushed him to a bulletproof car or something, which didn't happen. There is this one video of this one female Secret Service operative who seems to be having a difficult time holstering her weapon, and people are just clowning on the incompetence of the overall team protecting Trump. There is also, and it's the internet, I don't know what you're gonna do. There's also a subsect of people pointing out the fact that one of the Secret Service agents was dummy thick. And now people on 4chan are writing like fan theories about, hey, what if the dummy thick Secret Service operative was, maybe the whole reason that they staged this was so that they could get candid shots of this dummy thick Secret Service I mean, look, if they make it a short manga, like, I'll buy it. But like, otherwise, this is just ridiculous. All that said, how is Trump? If you couldn't tell, the dude's great. Everybody's under the impression that this is going to do wonders for his election numbers. And why wouldn't it? Assassination attempt, dude got hurt, played it off perfectly. Blood on his face, fist in the air, gets out of the situation, gets 50 Cent to perform Bulletproof. Many Men, with Donald Trump's face on his album cover. I don't think this is Photoshop. This is a real 50 Cent. This is the endorsement of the year. I gotta tell you. And the fact that Donald Trump moved his head ever so slightly. People are analyzing the fact that if he didn't move his head to look at the teleprompter or a thick Latino MILF for all I know, it probably would have hit the back of his skull rather than just grazing his ear, resulting in a bunch of memes from what I think is JoJo, but he's bulletproof. What can you do? Bro is seen playing golf the next day, exits the rally. He got grazed. Someone else died, by the way, who was hit by a different bullet. Doesn't faze him. Goes back to playing golf. Remarkable comeback, if I do say so myself. There are already people still talking about the debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, where Donald Trump was actually answering questions and Joe Biden was having a difficult time getting words out of his mouth. And so they're making the comparisons of what Joe Biden would be like in that situation. And if I'm being honest, and let's all be honest, he probably would have stood still. He probably would not. If it shot Joe Biden straight through the eyes, I do not think he would have moved an inch. It probably would have taken him an hour or two before somebody told him what happened and he realized, oh, I've been shot. I don't do a great Biden. I've been shot. I don't do a great Trump either. Why am I doing this video? China is evidently already doing merch about the situation. The t-shirt, I think you can get anywhere, but I'm serious. If anybody can get me this keychain with the holes going through Shinzo Abe, JFK, and Trump's ear, I will pay for the shipping. Please send me one. Elon Musk is on Twitter talking about how many times he's been attempted assassinated, just trying to make the entire situation about him, which I think is on character to say the least. I am very curious as to what the Biden administration is going to do to try to reclaim the popular vote at this point. I mean, your candidate just got shot, came out of the other end of it. What are you going to do, Biden? Like, I am expecting no student debt, government-mandated Teslas, and cat girls at this point. And honestly, I'm not even sure if that's going to be enough. But I'm excited to see. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of the video. Remember to hit subscribe if you want to see my videos coming out every single day. Thank you so much to the patrons scrolling in the back. Thank you so much for supporting the show. And I'll catch you guys on tomorrow's video. Spisu.